Hello everyone, welcome to an update on my Write With Me, where I am writing my Portal Fantasy in this notebook that I made with y'all in a different video. So now that I've started writing it and stuff, the Write With Me's are basically going to be updates, so that's what this is. Last time I mentioned that the poetry is a little rough. Yes, it still is a little difficult, and I'm not sure why that is. I've tried thinking through it and figuring out why I'm having such a hard time writing the poetry and the songs that go in it. But I just thought I would skip the poetry if I can't write it on the spot and just keep writing the book and then write the poetry as it comes along, so that I can just add it in when I'm ready, if that makes sense. Because my goal right now is to finish writing the book. I want to finish writing it and then I can worry about everything else later. So last time I think I was like in the first or second chapter, I can't remember. But now I am in chapter 10, and maybe you can see here, this is how much I've written. And I have that much to write left. I am on chapter 10, and my goal is to have 30 chapters. So I'm about a third of the way. I actually have a list here. I've found that writing down all my plot points, I'll show you guys in a minute, writing down all my plot points, putting it on post-it notes in the cover of my notebook is a huge game changer. Like, I can look at them and say, okay, about this chapter I need to put the first plot point, or I should start gearing towards setting up the midpoint. And so what I did, I'll show you guys my this thing kind of gets in the way. It's hard for me to hold stuff. So here is my list of characters so far, and here are my post-it notes of my plot. So this is the first act with all the stuff written down here. I have the hook and then some notes of what I want to have happen until the inciting event. And for each of these plot points, I put the chapter that they should roughly be in. So inciting event, chapter 3 or 4, and then I have several things I want to happen, then the first plot point, several things, several more things in the second act, and then another plot point more. You get the idea. First act, second, third, and this has made it really easy for me to plan as I go along, because if you don't know, I am kind of a pantser when it comes to writing. I discover the story by writing the story. Plotters are people who discover the story through plotting the story. And so over the years I've used more and more plotting techniques, which has really helped my discovery story, my discovery writing side. So this has been a lot of fun and really good. And something else I did was, I'll put this back in the book. I took it out so you guys could see the orange sticky notes. And now this one, oh no, it's crooked. Let me fix that. So what I did was, there we go. I took all my 30 chapters that I want to write, and I laid them out on a stack of post-it notes. You can see here it's 1 through 30, and as I go along I mark what happened in each chapter. And now, since I'm in the second act, I marked where the second act starts, and it started in chapter 8. And so I need to write down what happens in chapter 10. But the last one I updated was chapter 9. So this is a really good visual way for me to remember what my plotting stuff is and what my goals are. It's helping me to pace the story. If I need to slow the pace down, I'll add more details, I'll add more adventures between plot points. But if I'm running out of time, like I am here, I'm halfway through chapter 10 and the next plot point is in chapter 11, and they're not even at where they need to be at. And I have a feeling that whenever I lean forward, I get blinded. I'll have to sit back here. The sun's coming up. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm in chapter 10, halfway through chapter 10. They are not where they need to be yet. They need to be at the next place in chapter 11, because at the end of chapter 11 is the first plot point. Not first plot point. What is it? I'm getting all mixed up here. First pinch point. There we go. And I feel like I'm running out of time, but that's okay. I'll just keep writing it. I need to have a good amount of time for me to describe the city and for them to go through the city, because they need to arrive at a city, and the first pinch point is when the city is attacked and they need to flee. And so that in itself might take up a whole chapter, so I am concerned, but we'll see how that goes. I'll figure it out. It's okay. That's what I keep telling myself. It's a good thing to be rushed instead of not know what to do. So you got to keep that in perspective. If you are writing your book and you find yourself very close quarters with where you need to be, that's a good thing. C.S. Lewis once said that it's easier to, what did he say? Like, it was about creative writing. It's easier for students who have an abundance of imagination, an abundance of word. It's easier to trim that down than it is for the bare minimal students, people who do not have any words at all. It's easier to trim it down than irrigate those words. Irrigate through a desert of creativity. So I'd rather be in a jungle that you gotta whack down some, because that is easier. I should know because I just finished editing my Viking novel. I just published it, and it was at 30,000 words, and now it's like 80-something thousand words. So I added 50,000, and I was building up more and more chapters and building up the character arcs. That is harder than taking away things, because you need to come up with new raw material. And on that note, if you haven't checked out my book yet, please do that. I will have a link in the description where you can go buy it. It is not on Amazon yet. It is on Ingram Spark, but buying it from there will help support me and will ensure that I publish books in the future. So go check that out. If you want to learn more about it, I have lots of videos about it on my channel. You can find it really easily. I have a playlist for Out of the Dark. That's the book's title. So, yes. Write with me update. It's going well so far. Almost a third way through the book, which is super exciting. I hope to get through to 1/3 of the way before the end of January, because that will be my 3-month mark. It takes me forever to write books. If I'm able to do 1/3 of the book every 3 months, I'll be done in 9 months, which is actually pretty good for maybe 120,000 words. Because I do not have very much time to write right now, but I'm working on it. So stay tuned till next week, where I will be discussing some things that I've been exploring. And there's a lot of exciting things coming up this year on this channel, so I hope to see you there. Bye guys!